Ladies and gentlemen, this is English Talk, your favorite show on the airwaves of TELE-ECOLE, the channel 100% dedicated to education. It is very exciting, ladies and gentlemen, to share this show with Mr. Mouhamadoune. He's an African from Senegal who believes that development of our continent relies on a well-educated, conscious, and a competent youth. With a passion for social innovation, he consistently seeks ways to make a positive impact on his community, channeling his efforts through small-scale initiatives with the potential for global impact, particularly benefiting vulnerable communities. As an advocate for mental health and youth empowerment, he co-founded Weeto, which translates to "You're Not Alone in Wolof." Weeto raises awareness about mental health in Senegal and extends the conversation beyond its borders. His favorite quote is, I quote, turn your obstacle into opportunities and problems into possibilities to learn, grow, and do better. Welcome and hi, Mr. Mouhamadoune.
Hi, Jara. Thank you so much for the invitation. Hi, Bamba. Thank you for having me. It's an absolute pleasure and honor for me to be here.
All the pleasure is for us. So today, as I said a while back, we will discuss about an interesting, very relevant topic about mental health that most of the people here in our continent, I mean in Africa, not only in Senegal, neglect. So we need to talk over it. We need to discuss about it to like underline or emphasize some important and relevant points about it to make it clear in front of everybody. So Bamba, would you just mind to a little introduction about this topic?
Well, that would be a pleasure. And as you said, Amina, hello, Mohammed, and all those people watching us through TELE-ECOLE, it is a pleasure again to meet them and then discuss with them about this relevant topic, as you said it while back. Mental health, for me, it is not who you are. It is just a sum of emotions, because we are human beings and we feel happy sometimes, we feel sad sometimes, we are stressed sometimes, and this is part of our bodies, and we have to understand it as such. And I am very happy to be here today with somebody like Mohammed, and I know that would be fun because those people watching us, they have many experiences, and we are here to show them the way we took, because we also had some experiences in that. So mental health today and a very good health for everyone tomorrow.
Yes, thank you for this beautiful introduction. It makes things like more exciting, you know what I mean? Sure. So, Mr. Mouhamadoune, what can you tell to everyone watching us today? What do you feel when you just hear the word mental health and what it means to you?
Mental health means everything for me, as I believe that without a good mental health, you cannot have a pleasant life. Having a good mental health allows you to also have a great physical health, allowing you to participate effectively in your community activities. It allows you to work properly. It allows you also to live happily with your family, your friends, your coworker, and so on. You have to know that in 2021, over 100 million people from Africa suffered from depression, including 66 million women.
Over 2 million,
yes.
Right?
In addition to that, our country, our continent, our people don't have the habit to talk about mental health, to go psychologists. And in such a context, it becomes urgent to talk about it, to make sure that people are aware of it, understand how bad it can be for their life, understand how impactful it can be for the future of their children, for the future of their nation. If you have a country where everybody has a mental illness, it would be very tough to move things forward. And this is one of the reasons why Weeto is really into raising awareness, making sure that people understand what mental health is, the impact it can have, allowing them to have a better mental health literacy. As we know that there is a lot of stigma and taboo around the question. People, they're afraid to talk about it because of some cultural aspects.
Yes.
It's really tough. But through our strategy, we try to lighten the communication materials, the communication channels, in order to reach the targets and make sure that they understand what mental health is really about. It's really personal, as I know people very close going through mental health disorders. They were not able to get the proper support they needed, mainly because people around them didn't know what they were going through. And also mental health supports are not very accessible in this country. Let's talk about it. We have less than 40 mental health professionals nationwide. Less than 40 people for all the 18 million Senegalese who've been through lots of things. Let's just not talk about the fact that Senegal is among the 25 poorest countries in the world. Let's just not talk about the COVID, which we went through. Let's just not talk about all the political frustrations that we have been going through. People are sick. They need to talk to professionals, to people who are empathetic enough to support them, to help them. And it's really very sad to witness, see, interact with people who are not well, who cannot get help, and who are very desperate. And I think it is our responsibility as youth to talk about it, raise awareness, make sure that the government takes action, stakeholders, NGOs, so as to have an effective impact in our community as an extra action.
Sure. And Amina, Mohammed said it a while back, people are sick. People are sick, but unfortunately, we are not aware of our sickness if we arrive to eat and drink as we want. If you don't have a headache, for example, you are a well-being person. While some people, they are sick, they live with us, they have some problems, but we don't know whether this problem exists or not because they don't talk about it. We are living in a global world. We talk about globalization. And when it comes to talk about globalization, what we have to understand is that the world changes. What we eat changes, how we behave changes, what we eat, and how we interact with the other people also, it changes. And when it changes, we start seeing some new sickness we didn't have the habit to see. And it is not because we didn't have the habit to see those sickness that they don't exist at all. So it becomes important for everybody to understand that some sickness, they are new because the society also is changing and they have to be taken into consideration. Maybe what I have to underline is we have a society that have two major problems when it comes to talking about mental health. The first problem is a problem of communicate. We don't communicate at all. And the second one is we have a problem to listen. We don't listen at all. Even when you talk to your friend or somebody on the street, he is more up to response instead of listening to you. And if you don't listen to somebody, you won't be able to know his problem. And if you don't know the problem of a person, you will not be able to give him the very good solution that is needed. I think Imam Ghazali said it. When it comes to define richness or poverty, he said that it depends to everybody. It is something individual. Because poverty is what the person think that when he loses it, he loses everything. And it is part of what we lose and then loses everything, mental health. And Mohammed said it a while back, we can have many consequences, even though the general point is the society. The society is producing so much consequences that have their, maybe Amina will come on the consequences while ago. But what we gotta understand is when there is a problem of society, we may be having many consequences. It may be in our companies, it may be in our families, it may be also in our schools. And maybe today I need to hear Mohammed giving me maybe some examples of those young people victims of mental health that can help me to prevent myself when it comes to that very fact.
Yes. Yeah, you wanted to say something.
Well,
yes, go for it. Yes.
Bamba highlighted something very, very important and relevant. People, they don't listen. People, they don't communicate.
Sure.
And what is communication? It's an interaction where someone talks, someone listens, and then after response. But in our daily life, we notice that people, when you talk to them, they are so eager to answer that they don't take the time to process what you say, understand every detail of it in order to come back with a relevant answer. It is a big problem, but I think the root of it is a lack of education. That's why I mentioned it in my presentation. Educating the population is not only about going to school, coming back, getting good grades, but they need to be educated on how things go in the society. Not only educating the youth, but even the parents, because most of the pressure that are put on the youth come from the parents who are part of the society. And that pressure that is applied to the young person can have consequences at school, at work, or even with his interactions with his peers. You see some people, they can be very aggressive with their friends. They can be very quiet when they're around people. They don't talk much. Some people, they use drugs. They drink a lot. Why? Because they want to forget some traumas. They want to forget some problems happening at home, which makes things more complicated and tough. And we are in a society where we put forward the stoicism. We like to be brave, not talk about our problems, playing the lion. Well, we are lions. Yes, we know that, right?
Yes.
And hopefully Senegal will win tomorrow. We are lions, but we can be vulnerable. Being vulnerable doesn't mean that you are weak.
Yes.
Opening up to people, talking, can help you ease your pains. But as you said, we don't communicate and we don't listen. Who should we communicate with? That's a question that we have to ask ourselves. Our parents, our friends, our teacher, a professional? Do we communicate with our parents enough in our homes? Do we do what we call waxtaan, having discussions in the family, making sure that you are attentive to how the person behaves? Are you noticing some changes in the way he speaks, interacts in the family, the way he eats, how long he sleeps, etc.? Do we take the time to be attentive to those details in order to be able to...
I'm not really interrupting you, but there is something also we should know. The parents, you should talk with them. You should talk with your friends. But those people you should talk like about your problems is the same people who put you into like mental health disorders. And this is what we should talk over.
And it becomes complicated to talk
yes, with them.
Your parents.
Yes.
Why your parents is your main problem. I think also we can talk with our parents when our parents are the main problem. We can also go to the Weeto group and then talk to them. We can see a psychologist or something like that. But I think Mohammed maybe will come back on it. It is important also to be faced to that person that causes the problem and to talk to him.
But the problem is they normalize the fact of having mental disorder. They normalize it too much, and they say like, this is European way of living, so I'm an African, I don't have mental health disorder. So they refuse categorically to talk about it.
And Mohammed said it, telling your problems doesn't mean that you are weak. Unfortunately, in our society, when it comes to women, for example, when they are about to go to their husband's house, what the parents and the grandparents tell them is, it means that you will be having some problems there. Yes. But needless to come and tell us your problems, just try to solve it by your own selves. Why they don't understand that some problems may not be, for example, economic. This we can control. Some problems are psychological, and we need to talk to some people that are ready to listen to us. Even though they want to give us the solution we need, at least they listen to us. And when they listen to us expressing ourselves, there is something less that we lose when it comes to talk about the bad emotions we feel over there. He said it a while back also. We don't listen even to our mothers, while our mothers are suffering in our houses. Maybe when we come at night, we ask them, where is the lunch, where is the dinner? The morning we leave them and then we go. We don't know that our own parents are facing some problems, and as a child we need to talk to them, to listen to them, because we can help them also. We rarely talk with our sisters, our young sisters and brothers who have some new friends in the corner, changing them day by day, but we don't notice that my sister is changing. I need to talk to my sister because he's my sister. Some husbands, I'm a single man, yes, but some husbands, they don't even have time to talk with their wives. When they need you, when they want to get married with you, they talk to you. But once you are in the house, there is no longer communication. And that is why you see on Facebook some groups like Topuka, some groups in where they put their ano, etc. Yes. girls and women, they go there and expose their problems, waking from the population to give them some comments, tell them what to do.
Some solutions.
Yes, it may be dangerous because they may be facing some negative comments that will emphasize even their problems, and it becomes dangerous.
True.
And the fact of going to a Weeto group is considered in our society as a fact of showing your vulnerability and the fact you are crazy. Because I want also Mohammed to tell us the difference that exists because between being crazy and having also a depression or a little mental problems, because it doesn't mean that you go to see a psychologist that you are falsely sick. You are not sick. It is just part of your body because you are a human being.
Exactly. Before coming back to your question, I will follow on what I was saying initially. You mentioned that people they may not know what they're going through. It's true. People don't have mental health literacy. I know a lot of people who are going through depression and they don't know that they are going through depression. Because to them, as you mentioned, it is just normal to suffer sometimes. It is just okay. While it is not. It is just the same thing as having a headache, going to see a doctor who gives you a solution or a medicine to take. When you are not going well mentally, you go to see a professional to help you. But that's not the only step that you can take. You simply having a conversation with a loved one can help you prevent bad stages of a mental illness. Talking to a parent can allow you to take off everything that is really making you feel dizzy, feel bad, or behave in a bad manner. Talking to someone caring, someone who listens, someone who is empathetic can just tell you, hey, it's going to be okay. Creating that positive energy within you that can push off the negative energy that is maybe giving you the feeling of mental disorder. That's why communication is very, very important, not only in the family but in the schools. Teachers should be very attentive to their students, see how they behave. It's not because a student gets bad grades all the time that the student is stupid, or excuse me with the word I use, or the student is not very intelligent. Maybe the student is going through hard things at home. Maybe the student went through some traumas that were not taken care of. So we have to be very, very attentive to people around us to see the signs and make sure that we can prevent to get to a certain level of illnesses. That's the first step. The second step is maybe going to see a professional who will help you identify what is going through some questions that they have prepared as professionals and guide you properly. If you don't have the possibility to go see a psychologist, you can come close to associations like Weeto or SOS. In Weeto, what do? We create open communication which are safe. A community where nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to look at you weirdly. You know, sometimes you can say things in your family, people will tell you, hey, are you crazy? What is wrong with you? Alors que it's not that. It's not because you are impolite. It's just that you are not well.
It is the consequence.
Exactly. And in the community in Weeto, there are people who have been through the same things. There are some professionals who are just there to listen first. Listen to you, giving you the possibility to say whatever you want. And through what you say, we're able to identify if you're well or not, and so on. And what do we do after that? We create a bridge between the population and the professionals. We know that there's a big stigma around the question of mental health. In Senegal, if you say, I see a psychologist, they're going to look at you weirdly. They would even say that you are crazy. So in order to avoid that, we make sure that you are in a space where you are safe, where you open up to people, you talk to people who understands you, people who tells you, hey, I know what you're going through. You are not alone. I've been through it, or I know someone who's been through it. And we are here to support you, to help you, to guide you. And after that process, you can even take the initiative to go see a professional without anybody telling you to do it. If you hear Bamba say, I've been through a burnout. It was very bad. I wasn't able to perform well at work. But then this is what I did, I did that. I saw this professional and he helped me. And you mentioned the name of the professional. maybe Amina could say, maybe I could just contact that guy and see how he could support us. So I really think we all need to have the same type of initiatives in our own homes. Create safe, open communications at home, at the mosque, at school, allowing people to open up to talk.
Create safe, open communication.
Yes. Communications are safe. People, they communicate, but they didn't communicate well.
Yes.
You talk to your parents about your problems. You don't go sax. They tell you that, and it discourages you. Some people are not as motivated as us. Some people, once they see a hurdle, they stop. Not a lot of Senegalese youth are able to just see a hurdle and go over it and keep going. Through a communication, once they are blocked, they wouldn't want to go further and say more. And in our society, you would speak about a problem that you're going through, people would minimize it. And you would just say, no, it's okay. While you keep diving in the depth of your suffering, which would make things work. And when you get to a stage where they would say that you're sick, you're not wearing clothes anymore, you're wandering around the street, that's when they take it seriously and take you to Charoy or to Mbao. And those are things that we can prevent through communication, through being attentive, through being empathetic, through being supportive. And in Senegal, I think we have that culture of discussing problems like in front of elders and people who are able to support. At Palar, we talk about that. When you go to some villages, people, they gather around and talk about the issues which are going on in the community and try to find solutions. And why not get back to those roots and bring it in this modern society? You have mentioned it. Most of the issues that we are going through, they were not here before. But then with the changes that we are seeing, a lot of things are coming out. A lot of illnesses are coming out. And more people are aware of what is going on. So really traveling back in time, getting back to those resources that we had, which were rich and powerful, would really help us prevent issues related to mental health. It's okay that people have mental health problems, but they need to understand that there are professionals who are there ready to support them effectively. And it's the responsibility of the government to make sure that people are aware of these mental health disorders. We put a lot of money on everything related to physical health. It's a lot, maybe not enough, but we need a chunk for mental health as well. It's very unfortunate for a mental health advocate to see that the last report related to mental health was published in 2019. It's just crazy. And I think that we should be able to have the resources to identify those challenges and gaps and propose effective solutions. Yes, we are in a society where in schools, we study about physics, about chemistry, we study about AIDS, but we don't study about mental health. I think at a very early age, we should know what mental health is. We should know what depression is. We should know how to handle our stress. You cannot wait until you are old to learn how to handle pressure and how to handle a lot of stress. It's from a very early age that you need to be introduced to what mental health is so that you can know it. It would even give the opportunity to the young people to create a gate for communication in their families. Say, hey, Dad, I learned about depression. A lot of people I used to see and thinking that they were crazy. Actually, they were not. They were just sick. They just needed a good doctor. And I think that would be a great push forward into making mental health something that we would openly talk about in our society, allowing people to have the courage to accept it, acknowledge it, and go see professional. The first step into healing is to accept that you are sick.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't even know that they are sick to get to the point of acknowledging it. And it's where the government has to make sure that the work is done, that associations are supported in order to do their work properly in partnership with the existing solutions as the support of the Badianu Gors, and the professionals that we have in some school centers widen the network. A lot of people have the support they need in Dakar. How about the children who are in Kédougou? How about those who are in Matam? They are Senegalese and they deserve mental health support. This last year's theme for the World Mental Health Day was mental health is a universal human right. Everybody needs to have a good mental health. We all deserve it as human beings, and we have to make sure that our initiatives are inclusive. Weeto would love to go to all the different parts of Senegal, but we don't have the means to do it. But we are not just saying we don't have the means, we are not going to do anything. We are going to start with what we have. We have the internet. We have the possibility to talk and reach people who are even from Dakar. We are able to touch the heart of people who are not even in Senegal. Through communication, we are trying to create a ripple effect. Because our goal in Weeto is to impact at least one person. That's my goal every single day, to impact at least one person. And that person will create the opposite of a ripple effect. If that person, gets up, the person behind will get up, and that will make sure that we touch as many people as possible. These platforms, as the discussion that we are having through TELE-ECOLE, is also a great way to convey the message and help as many people as possible. In Senegal, in Africa, we have a great community structure, very well rounded, very well built, and we have to use it as a leverage to help and support, and whoever comes to add their support, it would be just a plus, but we would do our part.
Okay, just 30 seconds, please, Bamba. So I just wanted to know if we have other examples of mental health disorders, because while back, since the beginning up to now, we only talk about depression as a mental health disorder. So I just wanted to know if we have anxiety or bipolar disorder, is that part of mental health we can have?
Yes, it is very wide. It is very wide, same as physical health. We have headaches, stomachache, a lot strokes, a lot of things, same as mental health. So many other layers are identified, but we mostly just talk about depression. We mostly just talk about burnout, but there is schizophrenia, right?
Yes.
That's how you say it?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Yes, it is.
There is bipolar disorder, as you mentioned it, anxiety. There are lots of ranges of illnesses related to mental health, but those that we mostly talk about are depression and burnout. And of course, through the platforms that we have, we must talk about each of them to make sure that people are aware of it in order to get the right support that they need.
Yes, and then we can say that today at the end of the show, our aim is at least to touch 1%. And we know that 1% is going to touch, etc. And while back, Mohammed said it, the society is changing. But the matter is, are we ready? Were we prepared to that change? And I think that is no. It made me think about one of our shows here in TELE-ECOLE we organized with Amina talking about technology. Our society is changing. Today, you enter in a house, you see the girl is on Snapchat, the young boy is on 1xBet, the mother is connected in the family WhatsApp group, the father is faced to the TV, and the only moment where the family is gathered is when the chebujan is ready. And there, where they don't communicate at all. You see, and then it becomes a problem. The family doesn't even have a space. And if you don't have a space in your own family, you won't have it outside, because outside you go for work, you go for your business, etc. And nobody have the time to control you. Maybe today in our villages, they still keep the communication between them. But in Dakar, for example, it is a bob sabop. Nobody is caring about nobody over here, and it becomes complicated. So in our schools, teachers, they care about their program. How can I do to end up my program before the end of the year? And if this student or this student is behaving well, My only solution is to give 0, 5, or etc. If you need to be educated, just go back home. It is what they answer. And today we don't have the habit. The only way for us to go, or the only thing that can pushes us to go to a restaurant, is because there is a party. And the only times we have to care about ourselves is when there is a ceremony in the society. We think that putting nice clothes or eating something good, going somewhere where you can enjoy yourself, being face to the sea, it is Occidental things. It is what we think. But
yes, that is what we
of
think.
course, it can be some practices or some habits of Occidental people. But we did accept to change our society. We did accept to talk about globalization. We behave as them. Better understand that if you behave as them, you have also to take some of their solutions to heal yourself, because it's their problems that comes to you.
Sure.
And I would maybe end up with the pressure of our families. Today, for example, you enter in a car rapid, you see that the apprentice is discussing with another one or disputing with him for juromi dërëm. And then you are, wow, how can they discuss about that, about a piece of money? But the matter is that person discussing for juromi dërëm have a pressure at home. And if you don't have something to bring home, that will be a sickness for you. And sometimes if you don't put yourself in their bodies, you don't understand the real problem they are facing. And to end up with our companies. Unfortunately, we only organize team buildings one time a year, or twice a year, etc. And this is very dangerous. Today you see many girls, many boys in their offices, they have stress.
Yes.
When it is Monday, you are sick because you don't like your work, or you don't like people with whom you are working, because there is competitors, people, they don't work for solidarity.
True.
They every time want to have your place, etc. And it becomes a dangerous thing in our society. I think the problem is so large that for me, the main thing is to get a strong mindset. Whether they call you the American of the house, the French people of the house, yes, I am the French person of the house, because I want to protect myself, my dream, my emotions, and nobody will touch my feelings. To protect yourself. If you don't do that, if you listen to the society and their numerous rules, you will be gathering your yere and tambamaluing. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yes,
Amina.
that's really interesting. That's really important, and you totally right.
Guys, I have a quick question for you. You see, Senegalese only go to the hospital when they are terribly sick. And that is also a cultural issue.
Sure.
Yes.
Same thing happening with physical health goes with mental health. And it's more difficult because you cannot see Bamba and see that he is sick. When someone is really sick, you can look at his eyes and you would know, oh, this person doesn't feel well. But with mental health, you have to be very, very, very attentive to details to grasp how the person is really feeling or how the person is really going. So for people who would wait until they're about to die to see a doctor, would they just go to see a psychologist just to know how their mental health is? It's really hard. It's really tough. But as you said, create a safe space for communication at home. Create it at school. Create it in our data. Create it in our associations at the church. Those open space can be a start to helping raise awareness first in educating people in questions related to mental health. If we foster empathy, if we foster understanding, if we foster mutual support, we will create a country where mental well-being is taken seriously. And I'm telling you, this can have a big impact on the performances at school and in companies. A lot of people are doing well in their companies because there is a lot of pressure and they don't know how to handle it. And it takes them to extent where they procrastinate. They don't want to do anything anymore. If for the back, for example, children are supported mentally, I promise you we would have better results. Don't you see people, maybe in your classes back in high school, people who were really, really good in class, but they would never get the back exam because they don't know how to handle the pressure. They think about home, what people would say afterwards. Because, Senegalese with their negative comments, let's just face it. And it's just a range of pressure that can hold you down, that can keep you from flying high. And we really need to do something about it. I call on to associations which are in Senegal. It's great to organize cleaning up activities. It is amazing to organize personal development courses. It is great to organize logo distribution. But please, let's put a little focus on mental health. Weeto cannot do everything, and we do not want to do everything. And we believe in the power of collaboration, in the power of seeing one thing being done in many different places, following a clear guideline. And Weeto can provide that guideline. Other associations can use those labeled guidelines in order to impact in their respective communities, and it would help us gather data that we could use and support maybe our Ministry of Health, giving them relevant data to tell them that, hey, you really need to do something because this and this and this is going on, and these are not just beautiful words from Mouhamadoune, but these are relevant data that you can exploit with professionals who are in schools in première année, deuxième année, who can do it properly. So those were the words I wanted to really share with all Senegalese, all associations. Do something about mental health. Talk about it during your meetings. Talk about it at school. And hopefully we will build a society where everybody will feel empowered, supported, and loved, most importantly.
Great.
Yes, and we should not have to forget also the clubs of life, like the English clubs, literature, art, and philosophy clubs. This is also what we call the school of life, right? So it is right time, I think, we insert some programs like mental health studies in these clubs. So this is really very important also, and this could help also many students to know more about the mental health disorders, to normalize the mental health disorders.
Indeed.
So this would be very interesting also.
True. Just to add one little thing, in order to really save your mental health, in order to really take care of your own mental health, without the support of anybody, do first what Bamba said: prioritize yourself over everybody else. Be really selfish. Prioritize yourself. Take care of yourself. Eat healthy and exercise. Care about what is relevant to you. Don't try to get into details that can get you into problems. We like to be sponges. We take a lot from others' sufferings, and that can bring a lot of issues within our own well-being. So let's just create that small barrier that can help us that can prevent any issue coming to us. One other thing, we have to learn to say no without regrets. When you cannot do something, when you don't like something, when you don't like something, yes, just say it.
And that would be the contrary of the slogan of Barack Obama. Now there's no, I can't.
Man, yes, we can. Yes, no, I can't. Just say it. Just say that you can't, and then you stick to it. The other thing is to take time for yourself, to enjoy nature. We spend a lot of time on our phones, and that magnetic let's say vibration can jeopardize some things in our brains, right? So it is very important we take quality time, go in front of the ocean if we enjoy it, go to a library to read a book, spend time with your friends, have fun, just walk around and enjoy the nature. That's why I like people working in environmental issues. We need to plant more trees. In some neighborhoods, you don't see trees, and it's just really not pleasant. So it would be great to be in environments where you can see a really nice thing and disconnect from all the issues going on. We know that we cannot solve everything just today. There are lots of things. We are broke. There's a lack of quality education. There is a lack of support, but we can start with something. Do that as a start, and then hopefully things will get better.
Yeah, thank you. But I think people who are watching this show, they want to know how to join Weeto or something. They want to know more about it. So how can we like contact Weeto?
How can we Weeto?
Well, guys, just know that whoever is listening, you are not alone. You are already part of Weeto. You just don't know it yet. Now you know, okay? So to reach out to Weeto, it's pretty simple. You can go to our Instagram page, or you can go to our Facebook page or LinkedIn page. It's really easy to join the community. There are no procedures. You can just come.
Is that for free?
Yeah, come on. Come on. Obviously, we are not trying to take money off of this initiative because it's really dear to us, and we are doing it because, as Bamba likes to say it, we love humans. Personally, I really like to support, to help, to see people well, to see people happy, to see people succeed. You cannot even know how much joy it gives me. I'm always elated when I see someone who is just well, who's thriving, who's enjoying life. And in Weeto, that's the community we are trying to build. A community where there is love, where there is compassion. There are a lot of people who have lots of love, but they don't see people who are really open to embracing it. And through Weeto, we try to share that love, empathy, and compassion with people who are really ready to embrace it and take it as their own. Weeto is not Salimatu Diallo's project, nor Mouhamadoune's. It is a project for whoever is ready to support a human being. Either you are Senegalese or Pakistani, Hai Namrita, or any other person from anywhere in the globe, just telling them, hey, you are not alone. I'm ready to support you, to help you. And to join us, as you said, as I just mentioned, go on Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter. Yeah, we're on Twitter too. Reach out to us and we would just add you in the community. You would be aware of all the activities we would organize. Other than the Waktan sessions we organize in person, we have Sunday afternoon activities. Every 2 Sundays, we have a discussion online about a very specific topic. And if ever you have someone in your family or around you who's not feeling well mentally and you don't know how to tell them or to support them, reach out to Weeto and we could see what we can do in our end. We don't have money, we're not rich, yes, but we have lots of love, lots of will to support, to help, to guide, whatever you want. So Weeto is your project. Join us now, today. Yes, right now or tomorrow. Don't wait, and together we can do a lot of beautiful things.
Thank you. Well, Bamba, maybe your last words.
Yeah, he said if we don't have money, I will just come back on something. If money is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. But if your mental health is lost, we can say everything is lost.
Everything
just come
is
and join Weeto and let us Weeto.
Everything is lost.
Thank you so much.
Well, maybe Mr. Mouhamadoune, your last word.
My last words, prioritize yourself. Be attentive in your community. Look around you. Help when you can. And don't be toxic. Avoid any toxic relationships. Get out of the toxic environment where you are. And you would just live a happy life. And in our families, please, parents, stop those negative comments that you give to your children. Sa boobi dafa rëy da nga dof. Yow su ma la mën a one-on-one-aat la. C'est vrai, those are really negative things that we should stop saying. We don't take it seriously. We just say it and laugh, but it can have a really, really bad impact in our lives. Yeah, so just wanted to share that message for all the parents who are watching this amazing show. They play a huge role on how and on the type of adults that we will become in the future. So, as Bamba said, I have to really emphasize on that. Let's communicate in our families, please. Let's just take some time to talk. Let's talk to our sisters. Let's talk to our brothers. And family are not only the people you share the same last name with. Family is whoever is there for you. And whoever you want to be there for, whoever shares the same vision as you, whoever shares the same path as you. And I hope that from this message, people would be more ready to help and support. Thank you once again for having us. It was an absolute pleasure and honor. And hopefully we'll have more discussions as interesting as this one.
Inshallah. So guys, take care of yourself. Ask for help. You were not alone. But by the way, these are your first time to TELE-ECOLE?
Yes, it is not my very first time because I have watched your shows before. I've never been here, but I've been here before because I think through the interesting topics you guys were covering, I was really connecting and relating to the stories I was hearing. I truly enjoy everything that you guys do.
How about your feelings with TELE-ECOLE?
Well, I mean, I think it is a great initiative because we need to give the floor to the youth because we have a lot to say, don't we?
Yes,
I think so. And we are expected to be the speakers of tomorrow, of today. I don't like to talk about tomorrow. The speakers of today. So this platform allows us to learn, to know and strengthen our skills, which I truly appreciate. I also invite all my peers to take the time during the day to, hop into Canal, right? And check what TELE-ECOLE is doing because it's pretty interesting. I've been wanting to ask this question since the start, but I'm going to just do it. Why don't I have one of these? Who makes it?
This is our beautiful outfit. You know where it comes from? No, you don't. He doesn't.
I would love to know.
This comes from Bea.
Yes.
Bea.
Yes.
What does it stand for?
Bamba Elegance African. So you can find that on Instagram also, and everywhere you come, and we make you full ale.
Wow. I really like the style of it because it doesn't look just like an outfit. It seems to be a brand that really reflects a message. I see lots of bifals wear this, so I feel like
bifals they used to don't care about everything. So we can say that today, since we talk about mental health, we behave like bifals to bring up a new mindset and then change the world in our way of thinking.
Wow.
Well, you can find the contact of Bea under your screens. This is the contact of Bamba. He's the main CEO of Bea. So, by the way, I congratulate you also for the degree.
Yes, I'm an engineer now.
He's now an engineer.
Awesome.
So,
Congratulations.
Congrats. Many more degrees to come. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So, a little bit sad, but I am about to tell you this. We are at the end of this focus, so we will just give you rendezvous at Canal Plus 225 225. So we give you a rendezvous for another topics, more relevant, more exciting topic. Goodbye for now.